Welcome to Deep River Farm, folks. Just wanted to touch base with you a little bit this morning. It's the middle of September. I don't know if you can see it or not, but got a tree over here already lost its leaves. That's the first tree to obtain leaves in the spring. And it's the first one to lose them, usually late August, and lets us know that summer's over with and fall's on the way. We've probably got our last round of our double knockout roses blooming here, and they'll probably get ready to go dormant over the winter. And we've already cut back on our mowing, which is a good thing. But this morning we're going to talk about getting our gardens ready for the winter. This is the month for those of you that are in colder climates to go ahead and clean your gardens up before it gets brittly cold up north and different places. Time to get those tomato cages pulled out of the garden and water hosed off and placed in the shed. Time to get those fence panels taken down or pull all of the old green bean vines and cucumber vines and everything out of them. Go ahead and clean your garden out, whether you raise bed or in the ground. Get all of those piled up and put in your compost pile. But be careful that you don't put anything that's diseased in your compost pile. If you do, you're going to have that disease again next year more than likely, or a good likelihood, that high percentage anyway, that it could come back on you if you had a problem. So just make sure you don't put any of that kind of diseased material, if you have any, in your compost pile. But it's time to clean those trellises off. It's time to possibly, if you've got access to it, some good rich cow manure or some good fresh chicken manure. You could go ahead and place that over and spread it on your beds. That'll give the winter time the time for it to break down and the ammonia to evaporate out of everything and kind of nourish your soil over the winter. You can also cover that with a good organic cover like a mulch. You can use leaves or maybe some wood chips, something like that. That'll help prevent any winter weeds from coming up through there. Some of the weeds just don't take time off in the winter. They still grow, but they slow. So you could head some of that off. Also, I've been seeing a lot of farms, market gardeners and things like that are covering their garden areas with tarps and plastic simply because of all the trailing overhead that we're having. All of the stuff that's being placed in the, you got to be careful here, up in the atmosphere by aircraft, and you know what I'm talking about. And this is to prevent soil contamination. So if you're having that, a lot of states have passed laws that this can't take place. If you're having that over your area, you may want to consider doing that because your soil could be ruined. But go ahead and clean that tiller up. Change the oil, have it ready for next spring. Clean off your your equipment from your tractor, spray off all that stuff and put it in a dry location. You can if you're living in the warmer area, now's the time to plant your fall garden, your above ground crops, stuff like cabbage. You can plant lettuce, kale, stuff that don't have a long time from plant to harvest. And you can go ahead and put in your root crops like your beets and radishes and onion sets, things like that. And we plan on putting our root crops in September 24 and 25. We've already placed our cabbage and stuff in our above ground in 2 of our raised beds. I think that was on the 7th and the 8th of the month when the almanac said it was time to plant. But we just wanted to go over with you. This is the time to clean your garden up and get everything ready. If you're going to be needing to build any raised beds, now's the time to go ahead and build them and put them in a dry place, and they'll be ready by spring. A lot of people will wait till spring to start building, but that's the time that you need to already have had your soil prepped and have it ready to go so that when it's time to plant, you can put it in the ground. So over the winter time is the time to build your raised beds or do anything you're going to need like that. Go ahead and get your soil wrapped back up place whatever nutrients you might need back in your area and let it set over the winter, and you'll be ready by spring. I appreciate you joining us this morning on Deep River Farm. I hope you have a blessed day.